You're taking from this right here, this bubble image.
To be a docent basically means to conduct tours and also explain to the children about the artwork, not only about the process of the artwork, but the history behind it, and telling kids about how important it is to understand the artwork. And that's something that I focus on mostly, trying to get them to understand it. Whether they like it or not, that's not important. It's just I want them to understand what the work is all about.
And that one up there is a flat surface.
What it is a volunteer art club, if you will, but it's more than a club. It's really preparing young people to see how far they can take their art. Some are more as hobbyists, and others are taking it, or trying to become professional artists and go on to magnet schools or advanced schools, take advantage of opportunities in the community.
Oh, look at that, look at that. Just extended that right out.
Not all children are necessarily bad kids, but they may not have anything constructive to do after school. And then, of course, I would be misleading you if I didn't say there were certain negative things that go on out on the streets. And as many kids as we can give alternatives to after school instead of going and grouping up. Oftentimes, students aren't necessarily in a gang per se, but if they hear from a friend that something's going on, they may get in a group of just to go see what's going to happen. And of course, you know that many serious things can happen when you're walking around in a group, even on the fringes, if there's some type of incident.
All those clothes, tell me your figure? No. He has lots of people working with him, right?
Art is such a wonderful way to reach kids, and it's not necessarily me. I mean, it requires a lot of energy, but it's the art, and it's getting them out in the community and doing more than just making art, learning about art, meeting other artists, visiting not only museums but galleries, visiting art supply stores, and running the whole gamut.
We've come back to the school for a third time, and we provide a post-visit where we do a hands-on project related to the exhibition.
It's just even making a design with the glue.
Earl is Frank Stella's collaborator in art, and he works in New York City, and he's come all the way down here just to hang with you guys.
In the project, we're developing a painting that is based on a paper model, a collage.
We're thrilled about the success of the program, both for other museums who have emulated and sort of taken aspects of the program and done their own twist on them, but also in the growth of our own program. We started with one partnership school, and we now have 13.
Ready?
What we find is that kids who have been coming to us for a number of years in the program, whether they started in 6th grade and are now in 12th grade or something like that, they really develop critical thinking skills. They come into the gallery, they're very comfortable around the works of art, they're very excited to see the works. They go right up to them and they ask a lot of interesting questions. They're able to comment on the works of art. It's a great sort of mind-expanding experience for them, and they learn a lot about looking at things, thinking about things critically, and these are skills that will serve them in their life no matter what field they enter.
Want some orange? Oh, look at that one. Yeah.
A group of local artists are also trying to make a difference in the community. During the Martin Luther King holiday, Artistic Impressions Dream Team Houston will sponsor I Have a Dream Professional Day. Their goal is to educate more people about African American art. Joining me now to talk further about the organization are Corinne Collins and Fred Mateer. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. What's the focus of the MLK Professional Day and art? How does all of that tie in? Who wants to answer that?
I'll talk briefly about
Okay.
Artistic Impressions. It's a national organization that provides affordable art. We educate people about art. We have consultants all around the nation, including in the Houston area. And one of the things that we do on an annual basis is to provide a professional day that educates not only the consumers but our consultants, and we feature famous, nationally renowned artists.
Well, who's coming this year?
This year, we are proud to have the one and only Aaron Hicks.
Okay, okay.
Aaron Hicks is a very, very, very fine artist, and he will be in town this Saturday at the Power Center at the this Professionals Day.
And this is a fundraiser we're talking about, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
as a matter of fact, Artistic Impressions has a national reputation for supporting a inner city program that in fact teaches inner city kids about opening businesses and entrepreneurship, and we are hoping that by raising funds and supporting Artistic Impressions Professional Day, we'll be able to start that type of program here in Houston.
Great education for kids. Let me ask you this. With the art, African American art, that's the umbrella. But there's so many other subtitles, and I know we have some prints that we're some canvas work that we're going to look at. I'm learning, you guys. Can you tell me what we're looking at as we look at it? What is it? Is it deco, contemporary, what? Let's start looking at those. What are we looking at here?
Right there, that's a piece by Aaron Hicks, and it's just a black art. It's basically just a black art piece. The name of that piece by Aaron Hicks is called
The Visitation.
The Visitation.
Okay.
But that's just plain, just black art.
Okay,
right
what's
there.
the next one? Now, this is interesting.
This is an original piece. It's by Ashton. Ashton does what you call gold leaf. So all of his paintings are signaged by that gold leaf painting, and as you can see, you can actually see and feel the gold that is elevated from his paintings. And he also has the black art faces, and that particular piece is called The King and Queen.
Now, is that just African American art, or does it have some subtitle? Just African art?
No, that piece would be what they call a Jamaican deco.
Ah, that's Jamaican deco. Okay.
And basically, what that is, when there's no eyes, no nose, no ears, just a black silhouette type piece, the face that is called Jamaican deco.
Okay, let's look at the next one. What do we have?
This particular piece is an original. It is by June Marie. She's also one of our thousands of artists out of the Chicago area, and it's an original on canvas. As you can see, it's also custom framed, and that's how all of our paintings come. Again, it's black art.
Just black art?
Yes.
Okay, okay. And then we have, now this is just art, and you wanted to make a point about it not being an African-American image in it. You guys just don't talk about African-American art.
Well, it's not that we don't talk about it, but African Americans have expanded their interests in art, and as a result, we're able to offer them not just African American art or black art with images, but they're also interested in landscapes, florals, and we have all of these type art available for that. This particular piece is called Praying Hands, and again, it's by Aaron Hicks, our guest artist for this weekend at the Power Center. And it's custom framed, as you can see, and it appeals
Deep, rich
to a cross-section of interest.
Okay, I know we're just about out of time, but why is there such an increase in sales in African-American art?
Well, for a long time, African Americans have always wanted art. And there was two reasons where at the beginning they couldn't either afford the higher price art, or perhaps that it wasn't nothing out in the market that they really wanted, until Artistic Impression came along and made some artists, local artists from around Houston and Chicago area, where they began to paint stuff that really African American can really relate to history, stuff that they grew up with.
Okay, so the big event, the MLK Professional Day, is this Saturday the 17th, and it's going to be at the Power Center. Give me a phone number and we're going to wrap up.
The phone number, 281-286-2787, and that's Artistic Impressions.
And then there's the Power Center also that you can call. Okay?
Very good.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next, we'll look at one artist now affiliated with Artistic Impressions. It's T. Ellis. He's going to show us how to mix Avon and art. When Avon comes to your door these days, it's selling more than bubble bath and the latest shade of lipstick. Just ask Houston artist Ted Ellis.
I sent a proposal to Avon explaining the prints that that I had published and how they were received in the marketplace. And at the time they hadn't done anything like that. And they said, okay, Ted, we like several of your images, but we're going to try one. And they decided on the baptism image.
The Avon contract has been the big adventure in Ted's career, but it all started at ground level with art festivals, home showings, and the Black Expo. There he showed his wide range of African-American art, from the Buffalo Soldier to his elegant lady-in-waiting. An engineer by trade, the young part-time artist was taken back by his quick success.
This is something that I didn't really anticipate. One was to do something that I love. Two was to have people to appreciate what I was doing to make people happy in everyday lives. So this inspired me to further on the campaign. And everybody has a talent, a God-given talent. You have to nurture it and develop it. And I found my calling, that it was art.
Ellis took his calling one step further with the help of his wife and partner, Urania, and the University of Houston Small Business Development Center.
When we received the small doc loan to get the business developed, I pretty much knew that we needed other resources to rely on. And this is from my job and working different areas of the company that I worked with, gave me the opportunity to say, okay, you need a team concept, somebody to give you additional advice, to keep you focused. And whenever I decide to make a decision, I use them as my counsel, which is invaluable. Now moving forward to Avon, the campaign started almost 2 years ago, and initially I said, well, Ted, you pretty much what's your turnaround time on packaging the images up and getting them out? I said, well, probably 2 weeks. They said, that's fine. Okay, what happens if we need a special request? Can you get it out in a week? I said, yeah, that's fine. And at the same time, I had also said I was going to hand sign each one of these prints. It was anticipated that the prints would sell about 15,000, so I said I can't for that. When the campaign ended with the additional orders, I had hand signed 42,610 prints.
Ted may not be the only artist in the house. There's someone else showing signs of artistic talent.
The first kid, Cheney, she knew her colors when she was like 1.5. You know, her red, her blues, her purples, her pinks. And she's always, Daddy, you know, can I paint? I want to paint. And I said, okay, fine. And I'll have the kids over and I'll put out the water-based paints. And that's what I primarily use now versus the oil-based paints. And I let them go ahead and doodle and dabble, because that's how I pretty much got started. And it gives them to say, hey, listen, this is something that I've created and this is what I enjoy.
You might know my next guest.